host Laurasia Andrea, and today I'm going to be telling you guys how to stay laid and slayed all day long without making your makeup budge or move all throughout the hot summer days. So I do give you guys tips and tricks and also kind of comparisons with high-end and low-end. I do use all drugstore products in this video, so I hope this kind of helps you guys that are on a budget and do not want to spend $1,001 just on one foundation and powder. So I hope you guys really enjoy this tutorial, and if you guys want to see how I got this makeup look for my foundation routine, definitely stay tuned. So since this tutorial is basically based off of my complexion, I already did my brows and my eyes off camera. It's just a very simple eye look, nothing too special. I did record my brow tutorial yesterday, so I basically re-recorded this whole entire tutorial because I recorded it yesterday, the footage got lost, like I don't even know what happened, and my lighting broke. So I was just like, what the heck is going on? So whatever, I decided to re-record it, and it's cool because I think I like today better because yesterday was like raining kind of. So I think I'm just gonna, today's new vibes, new day, whatever. So everything was already done, so now I'm going to prime my face, and all the products that I'm using are all drugstore or really affordable products. So the first product I'm going to use is the e.l.f. This is a primer from their Naturals line. I believe it's only one of them. This is the only one. So I'm going to use this and put this all over my face. I like it because it's a little bit more natural in product wise, and it gives me a subtle natural matte glow to my complexion. So my biggest and huge trick to keeping my foundation looking flawless and fresh all day is to use a powder before I put on my liquid foundation. I am going to be using liquid foundation today, and it's from e.l.f. It's their Flawless Foundation. I'll show that in the next clip. But to begin with my prep, I like to put on my primer first, and then I like to go in with some loose powder. So this one specifically is the Black Opal Deluxe Finishing Powder. I would say that this is really comparable to the Laura Mercier powder. The only difference is this one has slight shimmers in it, so it makes it more of a natural matte finish, while the Laura Mercier has zero shimmer in it and it's more of a full matte finish. So you only want to use the smallest bit of this product on your face when you're priming to make it a really good prep for your foundation. So I'm literally only going to use what's on the cap, and I'm just going to focus on my T-zone. So around my nose, on my chin, taking a little bit more on the brush, and I'm just going to pat it on my forehead. So next I'm going in with the e.l.f. Flawless Foundation. And this, I would say, is a good runner-up to the NARS All Day Luminous, for the simple fact that it is more of a natural matte finish. And the reason that they call the NARS the All Day Luminous is because it is a full coverage matte foundation, but you're supposed to apply NARS products with your fingers. So if you aren't applying it with your fingers, you're not going to get that super natural matte finish in the full coverage. You need to basically apply it and push it in, and that's how you'll get that true All Day Luminous finish with that foundation. If you use a brush, you're not going to get the same finish as what they're describing for their foundation. So I'm going to have to mix two of these. This is the color Coco and the color Espresso. I got a little bit tan on my face, just slightly. So I'm just going to take probably a full pump of the Coco and then a half a pump of the Espresso, because I do know that with the Espresso, if I use too much, it overpowers the whole entire foundation. So I'm only literally using the smallest amount of the Espresso, and I'm going to mix that on the back of my hand. That looks like it's my color. No, no. And kind of lightly massage it in, because I've said a few times when I've used this foundation on my channel that it dries fairly quickly. So I'm just going to pat it in with my finger as if I would with the NARS All Day Luminous. And then I'm going to take a sponge. This is actually the new Sephora Collection Pro Sponge. It's their Expert Sponge. And it reminds me a lot of the Beauty Blender in the black one, because it is said that the Beauty Blender with the black color is a little bit more dense than any of the other Beauty Blenders. And I would say that this reminds me of the consistency and the texture of the black Beauty Blender. So I'm just going to spray with my Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray. And then I'm just going to use the base of the sponge to help me push the foundation in. So my foundation is all on. So now I'm going to go in and highlight. So the highlights that I like to use are actually from LA Girl Pro Concealer. I like these because they do dry to a matte finish and you do get really good coverage with these. So I'm going to be using two shades. I'm using the color Toffee and Fawn. So I'm going to be mixing both of them because I feel like Toffee is super subtle. I would say it's probably one shade lighter than my skin tone. And I like to go a little bit lighter up on, ooh, I did way too much. So we are going to use that same Beauty Blender, well, blender sponge from Sephora and spray it on the flat side because we're going to be using that side to blend out the concealer. And a little bit on the tip too, and blend that concealer out. And one other thing that I love about this concealer is if you don't set it like right away, you won't get any creasing. This concealer kind of reminds me of the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, but a little bit more on the matte side. It reminds me of the Radiant Creamy because of the consistency and the coverage, but it reminds me of the Soft Matte from NARS as well because of the matte or soft matte natural finish. I am loving this sponge. Like, this is my first time using it and it is like bomb. Now I'm going to let that concealer kind of sit a little bit in my skin, and then I'm going to slightly bronze. So the bronzer contour cream something that I like to use is the Black Radiance Concealer Stick, and it's in the color 8003 aka Deep because they only have two, and guess what, it's only $2. So I really like to use this to cream bronze. I'm not going to say cream contour because it's not as deep as like a contour shade. So I like to cream bronze with this. So I'm just going to take it on the sides. So the powder that I'm going to go in and use is from the same Black Opal line, their Deluxe Finishing Powder, but this shade is just in the shade Neutral Light. And I'm just going to take that same damp Beauty Blender and push this into my skin. And if you use a Beauty Blender damp, that's what really locks your foundation into place when you set it, as well as locking your concealer in. And then with the dark powder, just taking that same sponge, I'm going to go in and set the rest of my face. And I'm just going wherever I didn't put the lighter color. Now, some of you probably wondering, like, why are you going in with the translucent powder to set your face? Well, that is because I feel like when I set my face with translucent powder first before I go in with the actual foundation powder, it just really locks and holds the makeup in place. So you're already setting it into place so that when I put on my other foundation powder, it does not move or budge underneath. It's basically just letting everything else that you put over top of your foundation just glide and just, you know, blend right in seamlessly, so that you have no like cakey parts or anything like that. Now I'm going to take this e.l.f. This is their e.l.f. powder, their light foundation powder in light beige. And I'm going to have this help me sweep away my highlighted areas. So now I'm going in with a darker color of that same powder foundation, same one from e.l.f. And I'm just going to use that to set my entire face. Going in with my favorite bronzer powder of life, and it's only $6. This is the e.l.f. Sheer Tint finishing powder, and it's in the color Deep. It is not an actual bronzing powder. I just use it as a bronzing powder because you know how it is with us dark skinned girls. They don't exist really. So I'm just taking my number 79 brush from Sephora and just chiseling out those cheekbones. For blush, I'm going to take my Covergirl Queen Collection bronzer in Ebony Bronze. It gives a very beautiful terracotta blush color. And I'm just going to put that on apples of my cheeks. And to take away all that powder look, I'm going to go in with my badescu facial spray. The same one that we've been using to put on the sponge. I'm just going to put a generous amount on my face to really take away that powder look. Now for highlight, I'm going to go in with the Black Radiance Baked Bronzer in Rose Gold. I believe that this is fairly new to their collection, and I'm going to use this on a number 98 to 4 collection highlight brush and get a generous amount on here. I just want to see like how it goes on. And oh my gosh, I did not expect it to look like that. Oh, shiitake mushrooms. Okay, so clearly it's not coming off. That was insane. That's insane. How, whoa, holy cow. Oh. Whoa, this is pigmented. So I'm just going to spray this all in. I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Illuminating Mist and Set just to flatten this highlight so it doesn't look like straight up powder on my face. It makes it look more of a glowy effect than like a highlight effect. So now I'm just going to take that sponge and just pat all around my face to make sure that that glow is staying put all day and it's not just sitting on top of my skin. And for lips, I think I want to do something kind of nude. So I'm going to go in with the Makeup Forever Ultra HD. This is the best primer. Ooh, this is the best primer for liquid lipsticks for the simple fact that it keeps your liquid lipstick hydrated. It makes your liquid lipstick stay all day long, as well as staying super hydrated, so it's more of a moisture effect than a super drying matte effect. And I'll show you guys what I mean in 1 second. So the lip liner is the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in the color Club Hopper. And the liquid lipstick is the Anastasia liquid lipstick in Sepia. This liquid lipstick smells crazy. Like, I don't understand why it smells like that. It smells like legit I'm putting like gasoline on my lips. So guys, that concludes the entire tutorial. I hope you guys really learned a lot. You learned how to stay slayed and laid all day. And if you guys have any suggestions on videos that you guys want to see from me, definitely leave them down in the description box below, and I will make sure that I check and read all of them so that I will know what kind of videos you guys want me to do. And as always, I love you guys, and stay tuned for our next videos. Bye.
No, I can't